Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany and yes, it is Gemini season and my birthday real soon. So I'm probably a little bit biased and a little excited, but there you have it. Where are all my fellow Geminis? Let me know. I know there's quite a few of us out there who are like all the mystical jizz. I just said mystical jizz. I'm actually just going to leave that there because that was funny. I meant to say shiz. It didn't happen. There you have it. You know how much I hate editing? We're just going to keep going. We are going to be under the new moon in Gemini on the 25th of May in 2017. And I'm already thankfully feeling the flow of that element and that astrological sign in my life. My writer's block has been crushed and the words are flowing again after months and months of struggling to write very much at all. It is a huge relief. So today I'm going to be chatting about the energies that are at play with the new moon in Gemini. And this is true for any of the new moon in Geminis that are going to happen in the coming years. And then I'm going to share my new moon in Gemini tarot spread and do a sample reading where I will switch over the camera so you can see the cards up close. So let's jump into it. So Geminis have quite the reputation for being social butterflies. So at this time you may need to catch up with old friends and get out there and feel that real opening up of that cocoon to be more social. I love it when I feel like this. I am a total extrovert and I needs my peeps, but also know that there is nothing wrong with liking the company of your books and small gatherings of people or even your own company. So try not to force that too much as I feel like overly stereotype with the twins. There are those two sides. So feeling how that is for you and filling the cup that feels right for you at the time is also super important. The new moon in Gemini may also open up that throat chakra, and so you're communicating a lot more. Being mindful of your words is really, really important at this time. So using words that are supporting your goals in creating the life that you want. So what I'm meaning around this is there's a difference in complaining versus communicating your real needs. Often the band-aid stuff comes up first. So the symptoms, all this stuff like we're complaining about in our lives or we tend to get down on, and we're not actually looking at what the root cause is. So taking the time to really look at your real needs is super important. So if you're having trouble communicating, you can use a trick like put on a song that you love that says it better than you can, or even an instrumental song that brings up some sort of emotion in you, that puts it into an artistic framework. Dance to it, sing along, move, cry, however, and get enraged, put the girl power music on, put the heavy metal on. All that kind of movement in song, which is very connected to the throat chakra, will help you move that energy. Another thing that you can find really helps if you're getting a sore throat or you're finding it very difficult to communicate is just like thumping quite hard. Not like you got to put yourself in hospital. This is a thyroid thump just on your the top of your chest here on your sternum. It can actually help break up any of the physical blocks on that chakra and help you communicate better as well. And watch for sore throats because it can often mean that your body is reacting to words that are corrosive or that you're not actually speaking your needs. So there you go. On the flip side, we have listening, which is just as important as communicating at this time. Listen to what is really being said. Take the time to really hear the people around you. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to your body. And if you're finding that you're surrounded by people who may not be on a spiritual path, watch for people who may want to play manipulation games. These people may, as I said, not be on a spiritual path or maybe working more of the shadow aspect of that cosmic energy. So this is where the art of listening on all levels is really going to help work in your favor and allow you to avoid drama that is not beneficial to you at all. Another energy that comes along with the new moon in Gemini is creative energy. And I like to see how much I'm creating in my life versus how much I am consuming in my life. So I often ask myself, and I invite you to ask yourself, am I consuming more than I'm creating? There's nothing wrong with getting on a good Netflix binge. Currently doing that with season 3 of Kimmy Schmidt. But you also need to make sure that you're not just soaking it all in, that you're also balancing that energy out and creating as well. And if you aren't a huge creator in the aspect of like we think of creator and we think of art or anything like that, do it just for the sake of having fun. Or if it's not your jam, cook or get out and hike or do something like that, or learn something new. Just spend some time focusing how much energy is going in and how much energy is going out in that respect. Being an air sign, Gemini can also come with quite restless energy. We just want to go, 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 go. A reminder not to get too distracted and restless at this time. You may be tempted to start something new and have a million ideas come to you at once, and I totally get when that happens. It's like the cosmic floodgates open and all this information comes and we get super fucking inspired and we're like, yeah, I'm going to do all the things like right now. But it can also sidetrack us from our larger or longer term goals. So write down your ideas and inspirations in your inspiration book if you have one. If you don't, get one. It's a great idea. And then take the time to follow through with the goals you have already set, as well as the new ones. And that can be done through creative and effective time management. So, I'm getting all corporate-y, but it's true. Like you still have to manage your time in a way that allows you to foster the new inspiration that comes in and the goals that you want in your life or that you're already working on. The Lovers card in the tarot is the card for the Gemini, and it reminds us that the power we have is in our choices. Always finish the thing. Cross the finish line. Do it. Geminis can finish things. I know they can. I've done it. So now that we know what we may be experiencing during the new moon in Gemini and during the time where it's in the astrological sign of Gemini, let's move on to the tarot spread. And before I get down to the nitty gritty and the sample, this new moon in Gemini tarot spread can be used at this time every year. And it's being created as a way to check in and get focused. With all the Gemini energies that I just discussed, on a new moon, we are bringing the signs of communication and inspiration into our area of our lives that are going to have positive impact. I see it as the two Gemini twins as opposing forces at this time. One wants you, like the little angels on your shoulder, one wants you to follow the path that has all the new shiny things, and you're just like, ooh, shiny. And boy, is it tempting. And the other is like, dude, look at all the things you have to do and need to finish. So this spread may help you get clear on what may actually help you get in a space. And what I also love about this, and this is so totally the tarot nerd of me, is like the Gemini card being the 6 and being those two opposing. And then the next card in the major arcana is the Chariot. And it's so totally what this spread is helping you move towards, which is bringing those two opposing forces in and leading them into one direction. So this is going to help you get clear about what actually needs your energy and attention, and embracing the amazingness that is having all this idea and inspiration and discovery and fresh ideas, but also helping it be a positive impact. So let's switch over the cameras and have a look at the reading in action. Okay, so now let's have a look at the new moon in Gemini spread in action. And today I am going to be using the Saki Tarot. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I'm just going to give it a quick shuffle. And we can cut the deck in a second. Just as I was saying before, this is just a sample of the spread in practice, which is on my blog and over on my social media too. So just gonna cut the deck. Okay, so the first position is don't get distracted. The moon. I just showed that card before. How funny. So don't get distracted on the moon. And the moon is actually a card that I feel like distracted is a really good word for it. Speaks of illusion and changing patterns and not everything being kind of what it seems. And I feel like in this position for don't get distracted with the moon is don't look for drama where there is none. Don't be looking for things that aren't there. Don't be worried about things that go bump in the night, because there can be a little bit of drama around the moon. So don't be distracted by that. Also, don't get overly distracted with, I don't want to say distracted because I feel like you really need to honor your feelings, but maybe doing whatever you can self-care wise to keep that in check and keep that in a space that is really healthy for you. Okay. And our second position is get clear. So there's two communication positions in this spread, and I've done that obviously specifically. The first one is what needs to be clearer, what needs to be something to be reassessed. And the last one is what needs to be shared that maybe hasn't been. And we have the Empress. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I love this deck so stinking much. What needs clear communication? And I straight away go to our self-care. I straight away go to our nurturing ourselves. Straight away go to that, our health, our bodies, what's bringing us abundance, and what is bringing all of those gorgeous growth energies. We need to look at our nutrition. We need to get clear about our boundaries and saying no to people, and yeah, our self-care is really, really important, and owning that. So not only with communication do we need to get clear about it, but we also, when we say things like that, when we tell people in our lives, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to be accountable for my self-care and accountable for my boundaries and accountable for that kind of stuff, it adds a lot of weight to it. So I feel like that's a really important and beautiful thing for us at this time. Our third position is attention, and what needs to be paid attention to. So the reason why this is a position, this spread, is because Geminis can tend to have the stereotypical reputation of like getting distracted and like looking at all the new shiny things. Oh, the Four of Wands. Pay attention to your happiness, your foundation, your community, your family, the things that really matter. Pay attention to things that need celebrating. I really feel like this is a real, almost like the counterbalance to maybe like the Four of Cups, where the Four of Cups is like a bit more apathy and a bit of a downer card, whereas this is a celebration card. So moving away from any, the darker side or the heavier side to things that maybe have come from the waning moon, and moving into a celebratory space and paying attention and focusing on the things that make you happy and the things that are joyful and joyous in your life. And there is never a wrong time to do that, I believe. The fourth position is versatile and what needs to be shaken up. So one of the great things about a new moon is that we're looking at new perspectives, new energy, new ways of doing things. And in Gemini, we look at versatility and being able to do more than one thing. And holy heck, talk about what needs to be shaken up that is literally being shaken up. Look at all the chaos in this card. What needs to be shaken up is the ego. What needs to be shaken up is the things that don't actually matter anymore. And the positive side to this Tower card, to the Tower in the Tarot, ooh, that's a tongue twister, is that it shocks us out of our apathy. It shocks us out of, it shocks us out of like routine and ruts. And it's asking us to look at doing that, at looking at what matters in the foundation and getting back to the realness, getting back to what is real, and getting back to our foundations and letting go of the ego. So not always a very easy position for us to be in, but certainly a very powerful one for sure. And then the fifth position is communicate, and what is being asked to be shared. We have the Magician. And I see this in a number of ways. The first way that came to me, the first thing was share your goals, like share what you're manifesting. Coming back to this, being accountable for our self-care. Communicate what you want to the universe so that you can get it back, and do it in a way that is clear. What needs to be communicated is what we're good at. Like maybe there are people in our beautiful tribe who haven't been promoting themselves. And I don't mean that in like a really nasty way, but just haven't been giving themselves the praise that they deserve. Communicate the resources that you need too. This is a card of resources. So there's those three things in this card. So communicating what you want, what you really want to the universe so that you can get it back. Communicate how fantastic you are if you've been doing a good job. Don't be afraid of getting some praise. And also communicate if you need resources or help, because the Magician has those lovely resources energetically and physically as well. So that is the New Moon in Gemini Tarot Spirit in action. And thank you again so much for watching, and I can't wait to see what you all have. So make sure you share your readings on the lovely social medias using the hashtag in the blog post, and have a beautiful new moon.